Hey guys, today I'd like to tell you a story of me becoming a solo game developer. It all has started in March 2017. I had some financial problems and also I desperately wanted to learn something new, create something cool and use the skill set that I already had. And I'm a computer graphic artist, which basically means I create digital images and videos. So I had a rough day and I couldn't get into sleep, and suddenly I just came up with the idea that maybe I'll need to try to learn some coding, but coding for games. I already had some experience with Unity game engine before, so I thought maybe it might be easier if I start with something familiar. I stood up from bed and went to my computer and started googling videos for newbies in Unity and C# language. I bought 2 or 3 courses and started watching each lesson one by one, but working on my own game. It was a platformer. It had like a Christmassy theme because it was winter. The graphics I've done was a pixel art style, which I've learned like in 3-4 days, also watching some YouTube videos and video courses. At some point, I've learned how to make 3-4 simple games with Unity. One was platformer, tower defense, some 3D shooter, and something else. And it's been already months or 2 since I've started learning, so I had kinda enough confidence to create something bigger, something actually interesting and more complex. So I've started checking different mobile games as I've decided that I want to do something for mobile market, I guess. I wanted to do something for Android, and at some point I found Soul Knight, and I really enjoyed the gameplay, the characters, the style, but the only thing I was missing was a story. So I've decided to create something with a story, but something darker, something more atmospheric. And as I'm a huge fan of Fallout 1 and Fallout 2 games and the style of those, so my decision was to create something with a similar atmosphere. So I've read that in order to start working on a game, you have to create a game design document where you have to describe all of the future game's details and everything you want to do with that. So I've done that. I've created a story, I've chose design and gameplay, and I started working on it. Of course, still learning while working. 4 months later, I got to the point where you could already play the game, but at some point I got burned out as I was spending all my free time working on the game, and I had permanent job and also some freelance projects related to computer graphic animations and advertising. And I understood that the game is only around 60% done and I get no more forces to continue. So I just left it, and it was August 2017. So I was trying to get back to work in 2019 a couple of times, but I was very minor attempts, as every time I had to remind myself what I've actually done for the game and how everything works there. I started to forget things I've learned before with Unity and C# because I wasn't using it at all. Then 2019 started, and I promised myself that this year I'm gonna finish it anyway, and it wouldn't matter whether it will get downloads or not, or I just wanted to finish it. So in 2019, in February, I started working on it again and started learning again a lot. I put myself a deadline to release it in May 1st, 2019. So I've bought used iPhone to test the game for iOS. Also asked a friend to create music and sounds for the game, as I couldn't do it myself. Purchased iOS developer license for $99 and Android developer license for $25. I also bought Unity Pro license for $50 per month, because before I was using the free version. While working on game in 2017, I've launched a Kickstarter campaign to raise some funds and cover my expenses, and it failed. 2019, I decided to give it a second try because I had more things to show people and thought maybe they're gonna like it better, and it failed again. So still spending my free time after work, weekends, I finally finished it. I couldn't really believe I did it. 1st of April 2019 was done, and I wanted to go for a soft launch and release it on Play Store and App Store as a test version so people could try it out and let me know what they think. I set up a Twitter account, Facebook page, and started making posts on social media to get some downloads and response from players. And then people started to complain. They were telling me many different things, reporting bugs and bad gameplay solutions. And as I've decided to release it 1st of May, I had around 3 weeks to fix all those things. It is almost true when they say it takes half of time to make 90% of game and another half to do the rest 90. Because the game changed a lot within those 3 weeks. But I started getting lots of positive feedback. It was a really good idea to ask people what they actually think. The game improved a lot with that. So 1st May of 2019, I officially released it for Android, and because of some rejects from the side of App Store, did the same only on 10th of May for iOS. It was free to play game with ads and some items to buy inside of the game. And then began the most difficult part, spread the word. I started writing emails, lots of emails. I was looking for game reporters, game magazines, YouTube game reviewers. I think I wrote around 600-700 emails within 1 month. I also spent some money asking YouTubers to include the game in their reviews. And I also spent some money for the articles in the online game magazines. I think in total I spent around 1,800 United States dollars for the advertising my game, and also around 450 for the music and sounds. The rest I've done myself, so the graphics and coding part and everything else. And I was so surprised that within 1 month my game was downloaded 100,000 times on iOS and 20,000 times on Android. People loved it. The words were spreading so quickly. I was googling it and I saw how many people were making reviews, posting news and reposts, all that stuff. Of course, I understood that it won't last forever, all this attention, but I got offered to go to some conferences as a game developer and also to make it for Switch or PC from some game publishers, and but it happened all so quickly that I got overwhelmed. But for me, it was a huge success. I never expected. For the person who basically has 7-8 months of practice experience in game development, it was insane. And now it's August 2019. The game has been downloaded 130,000 times for iOS and 100,000 times for Android. I got emails from both Play Store and App Store asking to create some content to feature my game in their stores, and Play Store did it. So it helped to keep downloads on around 800-1,000 new players per day. You're probably curious, did I cover my expenses, even though the game is free? Yep, I did. The game gets around $600-800 per month. First month was much better, was around 1,400, 1,500. It's getting lower as I don't use any additional posts to promote it anymore, and I assume it will get to zero at some point. But what's great, that I got huge amount of amazing reviews from players asking for another game, prequel or sequel, and the part of income. It's such a great pleasure to treat people with some quality games that I really enjoyed to create. I played it myself so many times I can't count. Testing it, of course, but I loved it. To sum up, so I spent 8 months of development, 2,500 United States dollars as a budget, and now it gets $700 revenue per month, which sounds pretty good to me. And also, when I got that response from people, the very first response, I got so many complaints of people from other countries that were asking for the translations of the game, for the localizations, because originally I created the game in English, and so many people were asking for many different languages. And I couldn't, of course, I didn't know how to do that, I didn't know how to implement that, I didn't know actually, I had to spend some budget on it. And in average, I think I spent around $80 for each localizations. I also asked some of my friends to do it for free. So the rest of them, the game has right now 8 or 9 different languages I had to pay, so that also includes in the budget. So in those $2,500, I've included the localizations for the game too. And there will be more to talk about in the future. I just wanted to share my personal experience of game development. It's not my job, it's my hobby and my passion. Yeah. So thanks a lot, guys, and see you in future videos. Bye.